This is Pastor Tim coming to you again from Bend and Lomita United Methodist Churches, United Methodist Churches in Central Texas, serving our small communities with a big idea for ministry. We're doing a podcast on the themes of the Bible, the ideas of the Bible, the content of the Bible, because we believe that that is central to understanding the faith. It is also very difficult because the Bible was written thousands of years ago in a different culture and a different language with different ideas behind it. And so we have to have some help to try to understand it. So we're trying to give people some clues, some ways of entering into the Bible so they can understand. We've done Jacob and Esau, and now we're ready for the next generation. Jacob was able to get two wives, sisters, that he didn't want the first one, Leah. He did want Rachel, and he's going to end up marrying. He ended up marrying both of them, and having children by both of them. Had more children by Leah than by Rebecca. So it's kind of a Rachel. It's more. It ends up with a different kind of spin on family history. Much of the Bible is a family history about how God relates to a family. It ends up being a nation. But it's now time for the next generation. So he had 12 sons by his various wives and also by the maids. That was a common practice then, because the maid was considered part of the household. And so he had 12 sons who would eventually be the 12 tribes of Israel. They're the very foundation of the Jewish nation. But at the time, they were a family. And in his older age, he had a young son named Joseph. Joseph was that at the time the youngest child. He wouldn't end up being the youngest child, but he was the one who was spoiled. He got the best of everything. He had a coat of many colors, and what it was basically was a coat with long sleeves and fringe on the end of it. The reason that's important is because when you wear a long coat with your arms covered and have fringe at the end of it covering your hands, you can't work. And so it was created a situation in which he wasn't going to work. His brothers were going to work, but he wasn't. He was the favored child. Not only that, but he was not bashful about telling his brothers about that either. One time he comes out to where his brothers are working, and he tells them what he had a dream in which there were 11 sheaves of wheat, and they all bowed down to him. It didn't take very much to figure out that those 11 brothers didn't appreciate the fact that they were going to bend down to their brother. But interpreting of dreams is going to be an important part of what Joseph does. And so they have enough of him at one point and decide that they're going to throw him in the pit. They grab him and capture him, throw him in the pit, and now they need to know what to do with him. How do you get rid of him? So they find some traders that are coming by, and they sell him into slavery. So he'll go off into some other part of the world, and they won't have to worry about him anymore. But you still have to explain to your father what happened to him. And so the brothers concoct a story. They get they get a wolf's skin and try to suggest that a wolf has killed him, or an animal has killed him, a bear or something. And take him back and show the blood to his father and say that he was killed out in the wilderness. Of course, we know that's not going to happen, and that's not going to be the end of the story. So they take him off into slavery. So that's one of the ways of dealing with family differences. You try to get rid of the people that you don't like. you try to eliminate them from your life, but it never works out that way. Family is family, and you're related by blood. And you can disown your family. You can try to get rid of parts of your family, but they're still your family. And this is the story of God in this particular family. So it's not going to end there. I hope that's helpful to get the story started. We'll talk about his rise to power later on. I'll see you next time.